Hi dear students, in the last class we discussed about the four suitors who came to seek Portia's hand in marriage, and we have got the characters of these four suitors, and Portia is not interested in these four suitors. Who all were the four suitors? The first one, Neapolitan prince, and his character was he used to talk more about the horse, and he considered that as a special quality. And the second person, Count Palatine, he is a very serious person and he never laughs. And the fourth person, Monsieur Lee Bon, he has got the character of Neapolitan prince and County Palatine. That means the third person, Monsieur Lee Bon, he used to talk more about the horse and he is a very serious person. And in Portia's words, that person is not having any personality. He adopted personality from many others. And the fourth person, that is Falconbridge from England. And what is the problem with the Falconbridge? There is a language barrier. Both of them, Portia and Falconbridge, both of them speak different languages. And again, Portia says, Falconbridge adopted his manners from many places. And today we are going to see the next two suitors. So you may please take page number 33.
Now we will see the fifth suitor. Nerissa says, "What think you of the Scottish lord, his neighbour?" It means, well, what do you think of his neighbour, the Scottish lord? In the last class we had seen the person was from England, Falconbridge. The fourth suitor was from England. So the Scotland and England, these two countries were very close. That is why Nerissa says the fifth person is the neighbor of the fourth one, Falconbridge. Why? Because Scotland, it is very close to England. And take the next page. Portia says that he hath a neighborly charity in him, for he borrowed a box of the ear of the Englishman, and swore he would pay him again when he was able. That he hath a neighborly charity in him. It means that he has got a charity for his neighbor. And who is the neighbor of Scottish suitor? That is Falconbridge, who came from England. So the fifth person, the person from Scotland, he is having neighborly charity for his neighbor. That means for England or Falconbridge. He has a love for his neighbor. And what is the reason for his love for his neighbor? Because he received a blow on his face from the Englishman and swore that he would return it when he was able to do so. So in a negative way only it is given here. That means by saying that charity for his neighbor means once the suitor from Scotland, he got a blow from the Englishman and swore that he would return it when he was able to do so. And once he got the blow, in a way you should understand that it is not a problem with the Falconbridge and the fifth suitor, the person from the Scotland. This is a historical reference. It means that England and Scotland, these two countries were in rivalry and they used to fight with each other. And that is the reference made here. It means that England and Scotland, they used to fight each other, and Scotland, many times they got blow from England. And Scotland decided that they will pay back whatever the things they got from England, they would give back to England. Don't confuse that it is a problem between Falconbridge and the fifth suitor. That don't misunderstand that it is a fight between these two, but it is a fight between two countries. The reference is to the fight between two countries, Scotland and England. And here she says that Scotland got a blow, attack from England, and Scotland now they wanted to pay back the things that they got from England, and swore he would pay him again when he was able. When he is able to do, then he would pay back the things he got from the England. Then she continues, I think the French became his surety. It means the meaning is given there. Became his surety means guaranteed that he would repay the debt. Reference is made to the constant assistance that the French gave the Scots in their quarrels with the English. I already told that there was quarrels between England and Scotland, and France or the French army, they used to give support to the Scotland during the quarrels between England and Scotland. So the French army used to support Scotland. That reference is made that I think the French became his surety. That means French used to support Scotland in their fight between England. And sealed under for another. That means that signed his name underneath the Scotsman's signature on the bond as a guarantee for a friend. Here, the French or the France, they sealed a bond that they would support Scotland during their quarrels with the English or the England. So I hope that you understood, and once again I will tell, he has a love for his neighbor because he received a blow on his face from the Englishman and swore that he would return it when he was able to do so. I think the Frenchman guaranteed that the Scottish lord would repay his debt and signed his name underneath the Scotsman's signature on the bond as a guarantee for a friend. So that is the meaning of that paragraph. And take the next dialogue by Nerissa. How like you the young German, the Duke of Saxony's nephew. So the sixth suitor, he is from Germany. The Duke of Saxony's nephew. He is the nephew of Duke of Saxony. And here Portia says about the character of the sixth suitor. Portia says, very wily in the morning when he is sober. Very wily. Wily means very terrible and bad in the morning when he is sober. Sober means not drunk alcohol. Portia says that even when he is not drunk, he is very bad and terrible. At most wily in the afternoon when he is drunk. And what is the character when he is drunk? Most wily in the afternoon. That means worst in the afternoon when he is drunk. When he is best, he is a little worse than a man. And when he is worst, he is little better than a beast. So the character of the sixth person we can understand here. Portia says that when at his best, he is worse than a man. And when he is at his worst, he is not better than a beast. That means the character of this person is very bad. When at his best, he is worse than a human being. And when he is at his worst, he is not better than a beast. So in a way, Portia says that the character of this person is something just like the character of a beast. And the worst fall that ever fell, I hope I shall make shift to go without him. If the worst thing that could ever happen, what is that? That is, German selects the right casket. The sixth suitor selects the right casket. That is the worst thing that could ever happen. And if something like that happens, then what is the final decision of Portia? I hope I shall make shift to go without him. If something worse thing happen, that means the sixth suitor selects the right casket, and there Portia is saying that then I will go without him. That means Portia is not ready to accept the sixth suitor at any cost. Here Portia expresses her disappointment and dissatisfaction towards the sixth suitor, and she doesn't like that person because of his character. In a way, she says that if the worst thing that could happen, that means selection of the right casket by the sixth suitor, then what is the decision of Portia? She is not going to accept him. I shall not accept him. Then Nerissa says, if he should offer to choose and choose the right casket, you would refuse to perform your father's will if you should refuse to accept him. It means that Nerissa says that if we give a chance to sixth suitor to select the right casket, and if he selects the right casket, then if you are not accepting that person, then you are going to disobey your father's will. Nerissa says that if we give a chance to the nephew of the Duke of Saxony, and if he selects the right casket, then if you are not accepting the sixth suitor, that means you are disobeying your father's will. There Portia says, therefore, for fear of the worst, I pray thee set a deep glass of Rhenish wine on the contrary casket. Therefore, for fear of the worst, that means, therefore, to avoid such a kind of situation, I ask you to place a deep glass of Rhenish wine. Place a large glass of Rhenish wine. Rhenish wine means the white wine on the contrary casket, on the wrong casket. There are 3 caskets, and Portia says to Nerissa that you place a large glass of white wine, Rhenish wine, in front of the wrong casket. And what will be the result? For if the devil be within and that temptation without. That means there is a devil in the wrong casket. That means the wrong selection is there in the wrong casket, but the temptation without. The outside temptation. What is the temptation referred here? The Rhenish wine. This person is an alcohol addict, so he would surely select the wrong casket. Why? Because he would be attracted with this Rhenish wine and he would select the wrong casket. It means even if the devil is in the casket, that means the wrong selection. But the temptation of wine is outside. There is a temptation from outside. How the wine is placed outside. So there is a temptation of wine is outside. He will choose that particular casket only. That means the wrong casket only. Why? Because the wine is placed in front of the wrong casket. By seeing that one, he would select only that wrong casket. And I know he will choose it. I will do anything, Nerissa. Ere I will be married to a sponge. I will do anything, Nerissa, before I am married to a drunkard. The sponge means the person who absorbs liquor. That means the drunkard. So Portia is ready to do anything in order to avoid marrying with this drunkard. That means the sixth suitor. Portia at any cost, she doesn't want to marry the sixth suitor. So we had seen all the 6 suitors, those who came to try their luck. There Nerissa says to Portia that you need not to fear, lady, the having any of these lords. They have acquainted me with their determinations. So here Nerissa says to Portia that you need not to be worried, madam, having to marry any of the lords. You don't worry about the thought related to marry these 6 suitors. Why? Because they have informed me of their decision. Acquainted means informed. So these 6 suitors, they informed Nerissa that with their determination, that means their decisions. These 6 suitors, they have decided something. What is that? Which is indeed to return to their home and to trouble you with no more suit. That means they are not going to try their luck. And the reason is that there are 3 caskets, and in one, the one who selects the right one, he would marry Portia. But there are certain conditions before trying their luck. 3 conditions are there, and only those who accept those conditions, they would be able to try their luck by selecting the right casket. So because of certain conditions, these 6 suitors, they made the decision that they are not ready to try their luck and they are going back to their own countries. And they made a decision to go back to their homes and to trouble you no more with their suits. That means they are not going to try their luck and they are going back to their homes. Unless you are won by no other method except the one imposed by your father, that is by choosing the correct casket. They made a decision that they are going back to their home and they are not ready to marry, or they are not ready to come as a suitor to Portia. And if there are any other methods rather than the method arranged by father, then they may be ready. Since this is the method, they are not ready to marry Portia or try their luck. Here, father's imposition means the conditions imposed by your father. So if there are any other methods rather than the conditions imposed by your father, then these suitors are ready. Since there are many conditions, they are not ready to select the casket and they are not going to try their luck. I think some students are very curious to know about the 3 caskets and the rules or the conditions. So for them, if you want, you can just read Act 2, Scene 7. Take page number 69 and Act 2, Scene 9, page number 75. There the description about the 3 caskets and the conditions also given there. Those who are interested, they can go through and we will clarify and we will study those things later. Thank you. Have a nice day.